Hi everyone, it's week 99, continuing our concepts of Chi Sau discussion and still looking at single hand Chi Sau because you need to have a good understanding of Daan Chi Sau before you can start thinking about Seung Chi Sau, because it's hard enough to make one hand work without trying to make two hands work, particularly because the two hands are both doing different things. So we're going to master one side, master the other side before we put it together. So if we continue where we were up to last time, it's integral for me that when this attack comes, I don't withdraw my hand. If I do anything that comes backwards, I'm letting him in. I've got to make sure I stay out there. So if you watch really carefully, this elbow is not really coming back. The whole thing is sinking. If you look at the gap between my elbow and my body, it remains about the same. So even if he uses a lot of vigorous movement, I'm not coming back. What I'm doing is absorbing down into the stance. By softening my arm, it's able to move into the middle and absorb the impact. Jung now can't afford to take his arm back. If he takes his bong sau backwards, if he try to pull it in this way, of course I'm going to get in. So where he is at the moment is his arm has sprung back. The energy's still there. Because he's got energy present in his arm, he can feel my energy. There's a collision of forces. So all he's got to do is allow his arm to roll me away. He cannot afford to retract it. That would let me through. He also mustn't try to keep his wrist in the center. There's a very important fallacy in Wing Chun circles that bong sau must be done with the wrist in the center. But there's a big problem with that. For a start, it's too far forward and I can easily push it out of the way. More importantly, the elbow is now out, so all the pressure is on his shoulder. If it doesn't injure him, it will at least collapse. He needs to keep his upper arm. Remember, bong sau means upper arm moving the hand. So he needs to keep his bong pointing at me. That way, he's not putting stress on his shoulder. He's also no need to bring it up as high as his shoulder. It can be below the shoulder, because bong sau shouldn't be used for punches at your head. It's protecting you against something that's trying to bring your hands down. If I'm punching to the head, he can hit me. He doesn't need to do bong sau. It's an unfortunate thing that a lot of Wing Chun people think the answer to everything is bong, bong, bong. That's the worst answer. So once he's done the palm strike, he leaves it loaded, and when I put the pressure, it just rolls over. There's not much of a movement at all. His wrist bone, the lumpy part that you can all see in your own arm, ends up roughly in front of the inside of the shoulder. The center line isn't the wrist, it's the upper arm. That way, my force is always sent off center, because the whole point of a bong sau is not to leave my fist there, because now how's he going to follow up? If he wants to hit me, he's either going to have to come on the inside, which is dangerous, or come around the outside, which is just as dangerous. But if he sends me away, now he's got a nice clean shot. Because remember, bong sau doesn't stay there. Bong sau is done just enough to get rid of the problem so I continue forward. So all that is being learned in this very simple introduction. I try to get in, he steals it. He tries to get in, I send it away. Everything is soft and loose. We can gradually put more power, but it doesn't change the softness and the springiness of the hands. All right, we'll leave it there and continue on next week.